Hey everybody, another glorious day. It's a warm one today. It's quite warm outside already. It's 8:30 on this beautiful Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. And it is time once again for our mindful moment. That's right. I'm Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I am the spiritual director, senior minister at Unity of Tucson. And this is the opportunity we take every single weekday to engage in some spiritual practice together. And I do this because it's a reminder to me to be consistent in my practice. And it's an encouragement for us all to be consistent in our practice, because when we are consistent in our spiritual practice, well, what I have found is it enhances the quality of my life. How's it working for you? Consider that. Whether you are watching live or on the replay, would love for you to post a comment and let me know that you are here. Let's see who's logging in this morning. And Anita and William are watching this morning. Grateful to see you both here. And Kauai and Sherry say hello. Kauai Kitty. Yes. Hi, all still in beautiful Santa Fe. I imagine that's Roberta, because you've come up as Facebook user, which signifies to me that you are watching on the Unity of Tucson Family Time group page. Neither here nor there where you're watching, but when you watch on that page, it comes through to me as Facebook user. So I don't see your name necessarily, but I think that's Roberta. Yes, Roberta is saying yes. Yes, and Jerry, good morning to you as well. Always delighted to see you here. I, of course, will offer this reminder, which is to say, you are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. And I am so grateful that you shine your light and share your magnificence. So I'm going to talk today a little bit about the unity philosophy, the approach to the unity philosophy. I'm going to just check in and say hello to Audrey. Grateful to see you here, saying good morning to us all. Always a delight. So unity philosophy is an approach to new thought. And, you know, if you think about new thought as a construct, and unity is approaching it from one direction, and other traditions in new thought may be approaching it from slightly different directions, that we're all ultimately approaching the same basic principles. The principle of infinite creative energy, which is God, that there is nothing else that exists, and that from that point of view, from that basis, everything else unfolds. And unity has distilled, as a movement, has distilled the philosophy down into 5 principles. And these 5 principles are these. 1, as I just said, God is all there is. That's it. It's the only thing there is. Nothing else exists. Nothing else exists. Everything you see is God. Everything, all of it. Those paintings, this T-shirt, this supplement, this everything, all of it's God. All of it is the result of a creative force, a creative source, and that source has only one thing to create from, and that is itself, because nothing else exists. And so all form, all matter, all spiritual ideas, everything, it's all 100% divinity. So that's an idea, right? That is a principle, an idea, part of the philosophy. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that because that's all there is, that is who we are. There is no aspect of us which is not that power. There's no aspect of us which is not that presence. Our presence is a divine presence. Our presence is love. So that's number 2. Number 3 is that the causative factor in creation are our thoughts, our beliefs, and our feelings that are wrapped up in that. Our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. Those are the causative factors that go into the expression of all that is. And we get to utilize those ourselves. So cause is thought, belief, feeling. It's all consciousness. Consciousness is cause. That's the third principle. The fourth principle is really the thing I'm going to land on today for the most part, and that is that we activate that cause through spiritual practice. The primary spiritual practices being prayer and meditation. That's what we teach primarily at Unity and in the Unity movement and in the New Thought movement. And yet there are many approaches to spiritual practice. There are many different spiritual practices. Journaling is a spiritual practice. Visioning is a spiritual practice. Walking in nature is a spiritual practice. It's all spiritual practice. The primary ones that we teach to address the nature of our lives and to put cause into motion, those are really prayer primarily and meditation as well. And then the fifth principle in Unity is that it is our choice to activate and to take charge and take responsibility for the expression and experience of our lives, knowing that we are not subject to anything outside the self. And so we choose to activate the use of these ideas, the use of these principles, the use of these practices to create a greater quality of life. So why do I go back to essentially the fundamentals, the basics of Unity and its approach to New Thought? Well, primarily because I think it's good to be reminded. It's good to be reminded. And this practice that I engage in each day, the mindful moment, is part of that for me. That is an activation of the principle to create the construct of my life. Now, one of the things I want to address is that fourth one, right? That the tools we use are prayer and meditation. I'm going to talk more specifically about prayer and invite you to consider for a moment bringing into your awareness, what is prayer for you? This has been a big consideration for me these last several weeks. And Jerry, I want to say thank you, because you had made a comment yesterday that you liked the way I described prayer as a movement of conscious for a particular purpose. You know, we're moving energy to create and in the direction of a particular purpose for ourselves and for our lives. I think sometimes what happens is prayer, rather than being the default, becomes the thing we turn to after other things have been exhausted. And I would like for us to perhaps consider shifting that mindset to activate prayer as the default point of view for the outflow of our experience. A colleague of mine, religious science minister in Seattle, Kathy Ann Lewis, had posted this thing on Facebook not too long ago. She wrote this, and this is going to come up in the prayer class, by the way, if you're taking the prayer class with me. She wrote, "Prayer is not a spare wheel that you pull out when you are in trouble. Use it as a steering wheel that keeps you on the right path throughout your life." And I love that reminder that the activation of prayer and letting prayer become the default point of view and the default activity in our lives is actually what truly enhances the quality of our life. I talk a lot about the habit of mind. And what I'm encouraging us all to do is to get into the habit of prayer being the default. That's the message today. That's the message today. And so let us settle that habit of mental activity in mind, solidifying it through the practice of prayer, the practice of prayer. If it's safe and comfortable for you to close your eyes, I invite you to do that. I invite you to relax right where you are. Release anything that has preceded this moment. Let go of any anticipation of what is to unfold. And reflect on the resonance of this here and now experience. Open up to the vibration, the energy, the good that is this here and now moment. turning that attention to the inner life and relaxing the physical body, relaxing the mental space, relaxing the consciousness, letting it flow with ease. From this relaxed state of mind, state of being, I am rooted in the assured knowledge. I assure for myself a greater understanding and acceptance that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one source. There is only love. There is only divinity. There is only causative energy. There is only evolutionary flow. There is only circulation. There is only currency. There is only movement. There is only goodness. There is no aspect of God that is not expressing holy. And there is no aspect of expression that is not holy God. From this point of view, from this understanding, I move into a conscious acceptance that every aspect of me, every aspect of each and every one of us, the wholeness of us is divine, is goodness, is light, is love, is joy. And I release anything that seems contrary to that construct, for the wholeness of me is God. This is my identity. This is the identity of each and every one of us. And so I hold firm in my resolve. The word I speak right now is the activity of God knowing itself and expressing itself purposefully in this movement of consciousness to a specific end, toward a specific purpose. And so I welcome a habitualized way of being, a habitualized way of thinking, to let prayer, to let this movement, to let this activity of specificity and activity, conscious activity, to be the default. I trust and know that prayer is the steering wheel, not the spare wheel. And prayer is more than just the formalized, step-by-step addressing of things in life. I root myself in the knowledge that everything spoken is rooted in a belief and is creative. And every belief, unspoken, is creative. And so prayer is the addressing of those things. And I let myself move into the space and frame of mind that 100% of the time, I am allowing the good to unfold in the belief, the thought, the feeling, and the expression of it all. That 100% of my life is active prayer. It is with gratitude overflowing that I welcome the magnificent outflow of this word spoken. Gratitude being the magnificent fuel in the engine of creation, I let it be so. I step out of the way of the divine circuits and let them flow freely, easily, and effortlessly in every aspect of life. And I affirm this wholeheartedly by saying, yes, 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 it is so. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. Always a delight to spend this time with you. Yes. Join me again tomorrow for the mindful moment. And we'll gather together again. We'll concretize some more of our habitualized thinking space. We will make this magnificent philosophy a part of our lives together. That's the whole point of this. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Peace and blessings. Bye, everybody.